in particular, there are three things that I feel can be useful from modern biotechnology. The first is DNA fingerprint analysis. And this is something that we do in our laboratories and is a tool that we're very interested in applying to authentication of Ayurvedic herbs and medicinal plants. With DNA fingerprinting, you can clearly identify the species and the variety of a specific plant. In fact, you can actually differentiate individuals, whether it's plants or animals or human beings, in a very precise way, down to the level of distinguishing you from your brother or sister. Very precise differentiation. In the same way, you can not only identify that this is ashwagandha, but you could identify which strain of ashwagandha it is. And you can very likely differentiate ashwagandha that's produced in Uttar Pradesh from ashwagandha that's produced in Karnataka, simply because the lines will be different. The interesting thing is that we are well aware that some lines, some varieties, are going to be more potent as Ayurvedic medicinals. And using DNA fingerprint, we can actually, through some research, be able to identify those varieties that are most potent. We might even be able to differentiate varieties that are more useful for one disease than for another. So there's some interesting things to be done there. And there are also quality control applications that are useful here. For instance, if you are purchasing herbs, you're the purchaser, the procurement person at a very large Ayurvedic corporation, manufacturer, you might find that someone is giving you an herb that you're not sure whether it's the correct herb or not. You can do a DNA fingerprint analysis and identify very clearly and definitively, is this the correct species or not, or the correct even variety. So DNA fingerprint analysis is a very powerful research tool in Ayurveda for developing future, identifying more effective or powerful or potent varieties. And it's also a very useful quality control element as well. Metabolomics is another technology that comes from modern biotechnology. Metabolomics is one of those fancy words that means something very simple. It's simply looking at the metabolites within a plant in a very comprehensive and holistic way, and a quantitative way. And there are now methodologies and technologies available for doing this in a very efficient, very precise, and very quantitative and rapid way. And so this can again be useful for looking at the freshness of an herb. For quality control, you can use this for looking at freshness, for the level of marker compounds that indicate potency of an herb. Obviously, for Ayurveda, we're not looking for active ingredients, but you can use certain compounds as markers for the freshness, potency, quality of a certain batch of herb. So that's useful. Another thing that is very useful is what's called marker-assisted breeding. Looking to the future, we have a very exciting challenge ahead of us in the field of Ayurveda. And that is that Ayurveda is expanding its horizons to really encompass the whole world. I'm from America, and I see in this room people from every area of the world, from Europe, from Asia, I think there's somebody here from South America, from Africa, from every area of the world, Ayurveda is becoming known as a powerful system for creating health and wholeness. And the challenge is, it's a very exciting one, but it's a big challenge. If we're going to supply medicines to the whole world, medicinal plants, medicinal preparations, Ayurvedic preparations, where are we going to get enough of those herbs to fulfill the needs of everyone in the world? It's a challenge enough to serve India alone. But if we were to simply say, well, we're going to continue wild harvesting these things, what we would discover is that within a few short decades, many of the herbs, many of the plants that are so important to Ayurveda, that are currently only available in the wild, will be extinct. So we must develop methods for cultivating these plants, probably not monoculture, but silviculture, or other approaches that allow you to allow these plants to be produced in a way that they maintain their potency, maintain their efficacy as medicinal herbs, and yet can be produced in much larger amounts. And a few things will be needed for that. These DNA fingerprinting and metabolomics can be used as quality assurance to verify and assure potency and quality of the herbs. Marker-assisted breeding can be used to actually breed varieties that are certain to have the levels of potency that we're interested in. So what I've done here is to talk briefly about how we can use these tools of modern biotechnology, not at the core of Ayurveda, but around the edges. We can use the Western objective approach to support the holistic Vedic approach that we find in Ayurveda. We don't want to interfere with the core of that Ayurvedic paradigm and introduce objective approaches directly into that, because that would disrupt the wholeness of those approaches. But we certainly can use these objective approaches to support and assure the quality and efficacy of Ayurvedic medicinal plants going forward. Thank you very much.